Hi, Ed here from keywordspeopleuse.com, and I've got an exclusive time-limited offer for you. If you book a product demo with Keywords People Use, I'll give you a free 7-day trial of our standard plan, which allows you access to our new content optimization tool. This tool hooks into your Google Search Console data so we can find all the keywords you're ranking for and what pages are ranking. We then crawl your site content and use advanced machine learning techniques like embeddings and cosine similarity to find you content optimization opportunities that will quickly boost your impressions and clicks from Google. This new feature in Keywords People Use is already showing results for people using it. Don't miss out on the opportunity of a 7-day free trial. Just go to keywordspeopleuse.com/demo to book your slot. That's keywordspeopleuse.com/demo. You'll find the link in the show notes of this episode. Hello and welcome to SEO is Not That Hard. I'm your host Ed Dawson, the founder of the SEO intelligence platform keywordspeopleuse.com, where we help you discover the questions people ask online and then how to optimize your content to build traffic and authority. I've been in SEO and online marketing for over 20 years, and I'm here to share the wealth of knowledge, hints and tips I've amassed over that time. Hello and welcome back to SEO is Not That Hard. It's me here, Ed Dawson, hosting as usual. And today we're on to step 5 of the growth framework, which is the tune section, or the tune step of the framework. So hopefully you've listened to the earlier about the growth framework, because this won't make much sense if you're just coming straight into this one. The growth framework is the framework that I developed that's been my process for over 20 years in how I develop websites, how I decide content, how I build that content, and then how I tune, hone, and optimize that content. And it's an acronym. So growth stands for gather, refine, optimize, watch, tune, and then hone and repeat in brackets to make it fit the growth acronym. And it does what it says. It's there to help you grow and build growth into your content, into your websites, into your traffic. So we've already done all the other steps in previous podcasts. And as I'm building these podcasts up, this is actually me documenting actually how I'm creating a resource, which is it looks like some kind of small kind of book that shows how to use this process and how to use the tools to implement this process. But you don't have to use the tools, although I will say this episode, it really does help if you have a tool. This is something that can be done manually, but it's really quite slow and ponderous to do manually. I had to do it in the past manually, but now there are tools that can help you do this and do it at a much greater sort of speed. Now, I am putting all this into a Google Doc. There's a link to it in the show notes that you can look at it. I'm open for any feedback on this, and thank you for those that already have provided feedback as we've been going along. So you can go and actually read this and read the whole document in one by following that link in the show notes. Now, I'm going to read through this section that I've added for this podcast, and we'll just dive into it. So this is step 5. This is the tune section, the tune step, and let's go. So step 5, tune, refining content based on data insights. So now that we've got our content live and are monitoring its performance, the next crucial step is to tune it for even better visibility and engagement. In this phase, you use data from Google Search Console, integrated through Keywords People Use search analytics and content optimizer tools to pinpoint opportunities for improvement. This chapter explains how to compare search performance data with your on-page content, identify areas where your content can be enhanced, and apply actionable tips to boost your rankings and visibility. So using search analytics to identify growth opportunities. Keywords People uses a search analytics tool connects directly with your Google Search Console data to pull comprehensive insights for each of your properties. Here's how you can leverage it. Integration with Google Search Console. After signing in with your Google account, the tool retrieves data for all sites linked to your account. Unlike Google Search Console, which can be limited in the volume of data it shows. This means you can view up to 50,000 rows of query data, which gives you a much more complete picture. Analyzing key metrics. The dashboard displays critical metrics such as clicks and impressions, so you can understand which queries are driving traffic. Click-through rate, your CTR, evaluate how compelling your search snippets are. Average position, see where your content ranks for targeted queries. Filtering options, you can easily sort and filter data, for example, by specific pages, queries containing certain keywords, or queries from a particular country. And Google updates, you can toggle to show major Google updates like core and spam updates on the graph so you can see where these have caused traffic changes. Now, identifying patterns, using these metrics to spot trends. For instance, if a page is receiving many impressions for a query but has a low click-through rate, it may indicate your titles may need refinement. Similarly, tracking changes over time can help you determine if recent content updates have improved performance. So leveraging the Content Optimizer for on-page analysis. The Content Optimizer tool takes the tuning process a step further by examining how well your page content aligns with the queries driving traffic. Here's what it does and how you can use it. Crawling and content analysis. The tool crawls your indexed pages using Google Search Console data and downloads their content. It then uses machine learning to compute a cosine similarity score for each query and page pair. So the cosine similarity, this score ranging between 0 and 1, measures how closely the content of a page matches a particular query. A score closer to 1 means the page content is highly relevant to that query. And query mentions. The tool also tracks how often a query is mentioned on the page. So if a page is showing visibility for a query yet lacks sufficient mentions of the key phrase, that's a signal for potential improvement. Filtering and sorting data. You can filter the data to show, for example, only queries where your page ranks on the second page, because they're the ones that are most easily optimizable, or where the similarity score is below a certain threshold. This helps you quickly identify pages that need content adjustments. Timeline of content changes. One of the powerful features in tracking content changes over time. So the tool can highlight when content changes were made and how these changes have impacted your rankings. This historical view lets you see what improvements have worked in the past. Identifying opportunities to improve existing content. So using the insights gathered from both the Search Analytics and Content Optimizer tools, you can pinpoint specific opportunities for enhancement. High impression, low engagement queries. Look for queries with high impressions but low clicks or low similarity scores. These indicate while users see your page, it might not be fully addressing their query. So for example, if your broadband speed test page gets thousands of impressions for check broadband speed but has a lower similarity score and few mentions of that page, consider adding a dedicated section that naturally incorporates the phrase missing query mentions. Identify queries that your page is visible for but not explicitly mentioned in the content. Adding these key terms in a natural, informative way can boost relevance and improve rankings. Content gaps and outdated information. Use a tool to review whether your page content fully covers the subtopics reflected in the query data. If users are searching for specific details that your page doesn't currently include, update the content to fill those gaps. Performance fluctuations over time. Analyze the timeline data to see if recent content updates correlate with improvements or declines in performance. If a particular update led to a spike in clicks and impressions, examine what was changed and consider applying similar updates to other pages. Tips for how to improve content based on the data. Once you've identified the areas for improvement, here are actionable tips to tune your content for better performance. Enhance query relevance. Integrate key phrases naturally. Add or emphasize phrases that your page is currently ranking for but not mentioning adequately. Ensure that these phrases are woven seamlessly into your content to maintain readability. Update headlines and subheadings. Make sure your headings reflect the core queries that are driving traffic. This helps both users and search engines understand the focus of your content. Optimize content structure. Use clear sections and bullet points. Break your content into easily digestible sections, each addressing a specific query or subtopic. Leverage content change insights. A/B testing. Consider testing different versions of a page's content to see which ones resonate more with your audience. Use the data from the Content Optimizer to guide your hypotheses. Monitor post-update performance. After making changes, keep a close eye on metrics such as click-through rate, average position, and similarity scores. This will confirm if the improvements are yielding the desired results. Bringing it all together. The tune phase transforms raw performance data into actionable insights and drives continuous content improvement. By comparing your Google Search Console data with on-page content analysis, you can identify precise growth opportunities, whether it's integrating missing key phrases, refining elements, or restructuring content for better engagement. Cubes People uses Search Analytics and Content Optimizer tools simplify the process by putting in comprehensive data from Google and analyzing your page content at scale. The ability to see cosine similarity scores and track content changes over time gives you a powerful advantage in understanding how well your pages answer user queries and what you can do to improve them. In summary, Tuning is all about using data to fine-tune your content strategy. By following these tips and leveraging the powerful tools at your disposal, you can continuously enhance your pages, improve your search rankings, and ultimately drive more targeted, engaged traffic to your site. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to hone and repeat the entire process to build a sustainable flywheel for long-term SEO success. So that's the tune section read out direct from the document. Again, this is, as with all of this, this is just the first iteration. With this, I've not put any screenshots in, I've not put any examples. The full version will be much more fleshed out. What I'm trying to do is get across the process and the things that you're looking for within this. Now, this one does heavily talk about keywords people use and the search analytics and content optimizer functionality within it. You can do this without it. You can do it just by using Google Search Console, but you're only going to see 1,000 rows tops for any kind of page you're looking at with that. Whereas with the Search Analytics Now tool, we can get you 50,000 rows, gives you a lot more data. And also that looking and seeing whether you are mentioning those queries on pages. You can do it. You could do it other ways. You could download a list of all those keywords and then do a diff on the page content if you downloaded that. But this is really laborious to do. It's what we used to have to do, but this does it all for you and in moments. So yeah, it's really worth looking at if you haven't done it when you get to this part. So I would love to hear people's feedback. So go and look at the document. The link is in the show notes. There's ways to contact me in the show notes there as well. Now, with all of this, I am using you guys listening as my accountability partners to make sure that I move on to the next section. So I'm now going to set my deadline for when I'm going to do that hone and repeat section, which if I just get my calendar up and look at where we are. So I am going to commit that by the 7th, 2 weeks from today. I will have that hone and repeat section done and in the document, and we'll go through it on the podcast. Oh no, I got that wrong because that's 2 weeks from today we did that. It'll actually be Friday the 4th. So let's shorten my timeline a bit. Yeah, it'll actually be Friday the 4th that I get it done because it's 2 weeks from the last, because this section was split over 2 episodes, wasn't it? Yeah. You can see my working process coming in here, my brain working. Yeah, it will be for Friday the 4th. I will get that next section done. And yeah, we're cracking through this now. So yeah, we're soon going to have this first draft complete, and then it'll be a case of me going through and fleshing out the content and getting all those examples in, screenshots, that kind of thing. Going to be interesting. So I'm glad I'm getting there though. And if it wasn't for this podcast and me making these promises to you people listening, then I probably wouldn't have got this far with it because I know my limitations. So yeah. So as always, if you want to go to ratethispodcast.com/SEO, then you will be able to find links there on how to give us a rating and review. They really help. They really help other people find us. They really help boost the reach. And if there's anything you could do for me, that would be the most fantastic thing. And that's it for today. So until next time, keep optimizing, stay curious, and remember, SEO is not that hard when you understand the basics. Thanks for listening. It means a lot to me. This is where I get to remind you where you can connect with me and my SEO tools and services. You can find links to all the links I mentioned here in the show notes. Just remember, with all these places where I use my name, the Ed is spelled with 2 Ds. You can find me on LinkedIn and Blue Sky. Just search for Ed Dawson on both. You can record a voice question to get answered on the podcast. The link is in the show notes. You can try our SEO intelligence platform, Keywords People Use, at keywordspeopleuse.com, where we can help you discover the questions and keywords people are asking online, cluster those questions and keywords into related groups so you know what content you need to build topical authority, and finally, connect your Google Search Console account for your sites so we can crawl and understand your actual content, find what keywords you rank for, and then help you optimize and continually refine your content with targeted, personalized advice to keep your traffic growing. If you're interested in learning more about me personally or looking for dedicated consulting advice, then visit www.eddawson.com. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode of SEO is Not That Hard.